It is Friday, March 30th, 2018. Let's take a look at the news. From the Daily Mail, the countdown begins. Out of control Chinese space station's fiery crash to Earth is due on Easter Sunday, but scientists still don't know where it will land. Now, I find this story interesting on many levels. When you look deeper into the story, you'll find out that they have no idea where it's going to land. The potential path is basically the entire populated area of the planet. Another interesting thing is that earlier this year, 2 times, they've had booster rockets fall into and explode, kill people without any warning. And so, part of the whole story makes you realize the difference of cultures between the Western culture and the Chinese culture is that there is at least an attempt to care for the sanctity of life for the people in the Western world. China doesn't seem to be bothered by that. But China is turning into the ultimate big brother and the ultimate high-tech Orwellian big brother. And this is what a lot of people in the new American left seem to think is going to benefit this country, is to sort of tear up our Constitution and replace it with something like communism. I like ours better. From Fox News, will CNN pull licensing rights from shady pro-dictator network CNN Turk? Now, CNN is in other countries, and this isn't the only country where they've been found doing this, but this article is referring to their Turkish network, CNN Turk, which has long been criticized for being a tool of Turkey's increasingly anti-American dictator. So it's basically a propaganda tool in Turkey. And when you look into this more, you'll see that this is throughout the world with CNN in various countries. I would say, obviously, in this country too, although that's just a crazy thing to say, isn't it? The other thing that's interesting to me is the licensing. Why any of these licensing rights? We finally have sort of a climate of a free press, which I would call the internet, allowing everyone their voice and then allowing the free market to determine who gets listened to the most. The reason, for example, Alex Jones has such a huge market, contrary to what all of his opponents would tell you, is because he has a track record. If you want to get down into facts and numbers, he, as far as the times that he's been right compared to the times that he's been wrong, his track record's better than pretty much anyone in the mainstream media. And so this is what just a free market in the internet of news will allow you. You don't want a source that you can never trust any source completely. What you want are sources of people that have a good track record. And through the free market, those sources will gain popularity. Also from InfoWars, how the CIA hid their MK Ultra mind control program. This is just an article going into the history of MK Ultra. And if you don't know much about MK Ultra, take the time and research it. In a nutshell, basically, in the 70s, they came out and admitted drugging people, torturing people, planting people in the media. It basically admitted to a program where they were trying to mind control the entire country. And then they went basically black in the 70s. They became very silent. They went dark. They stopped talking about it. And I would argue that we are living in the peak of their technology, of their mind control technology. I would even argue that everything we're getting almost from Hollywood and the mainstream media has been customized and designed and catered to certain specifications to aid in the mind control agenda, trauma, fear, cognitive dissonance. Which leads me back once again to this subject from the Daily Beast. The Hollywood followers of NXIVM, the woman-branded sex cult. And it goes into the list of people connected to this cult. And the quote that I find interesting, why should we pay attention to this psycho factory? Because it has well-placed, well-heeled members and appears to be actively pursuing an entree into political fundraising. It's the tip of the iceberg, people. It's a group of mentally ill, psychopathic people that have all been attracted to control, and I would say it's a completely spiritual thing. If you are being led by your ego is eventually going to take you there. Your ego is going to eventually take you to a place where you feel superior to everyone else. And what we're seeing now is this sort of morally superiority, even though actions don't seem to be taken into account. It's just about your words, your virtue signaling. I don't think many of them are aware because they're just seeing things through their ego. They're not seeing what's going on, and then others see exactly what's going on, and it's tip of the iceberg. Like I've been saying, it's gonna be a great year. Have a great weekend. Have a great Easter if you celebrate it. If not, it's a weekend to be celebrated by everyone. See ya Monday.